But I think I just don't want to miss my mark. Whatever God has for me to do on earth.
He said, come as fast as you can. Paul and Maggie have been hurt. His voice, the fear, he was just distraught. But the person that did this is out there. And there's information, however big or however small it is.
Did they have any enemies?
I really don't know of any enemies. You hear all this talk on the social media with regard to Paul, but I don't know of anybody that would truly be an enemy or truly want to harm them.
And they mentioned that Paul had received death threats just weeks before, but they don't believe that these threats were credible. By June 25th, 2021, a $100,000 reward for information leading to an arrest
took me out of this case and does not put me in a position of having to step aside.
Stone says he only decided to step aside from the case after consulting with University of South Carolina legal ethics professor and expert Dr. Greg Adams.
I knew that there was an ethical issue and I needed advice on it. I got that advice and I followed the advice, and that's what prosecutors are supposed to do. You don't just get out of a case because it's uncomfortable or because people are saying you should.
But a lot of people believe that he recused himself because he discovered evidence that may have pointed towards Alec's guilt. Of course, that is not confirmed, but I wanted to note that because many people think that. But he did say that something definitely changed in the case that led him to that decision.
New customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, play your game.
This morning, a new twist in the mystery surrounding a double murder involving a prominent family from South Carolina. Alex Murdaugh, whose wife and son were killed in June and who called 911 over the weekend saying he was shot in the head, is now breaking his silence, releasing a statement saying, "The murders of my wife and son have caused an..."
and stealing from clients. So on the same day that Alec releases his statement, the firm releases their own, clarifying. His firm said he is no longer associated with PMPED in any manner. His resignation came after the discovery by PMPED that Alec misappropriated funds in violation of PMPED standards and policy in the wrongful death lawsuit. And $2.7 million of this was legally awarded to the Satterfields, but instead that money and more was sent to the Forge account. So finally, in October of 2020, Corey and Alec filed to dismiss the settlement, stating that all parties have come to an agreement in the lawsuit. Judge Carmen Mullen approved of this dismissal, stating that she believed the Satterfield boys had received their payout and were ready to end the lawsuit against Alec. But all that time, they knew nothing about this money or this dismissal. So when Alec began facing public scrutiny for misappropriating company and client funds, the Satterfield family found out that a settlement had been reached, and they were shocked. So at the same time that Alec Murdaugh, I'm not sure why he spells Alec Alex. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. I've never seen anyone do that, but that's his name. And people first started really hearing about the Murdaugh family back when they reached headlines on February 24th, 2019, when Paul Murdaugh, the youngest of the Murdaugh boys, was involved in a drunk boating incident that resulted in the death of 19-year-old Mallory Beach. For those of you who are already familiar with this case, you already know that Mallory was a very loved, wonderful, kind young person who...
Okay, and was anyone else supposed to be at your house?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I don't want you to touch them at all, okay? I don't know if you've already touched them, but I don't want you to touch them just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
I already touched them trying to get to see if they were breathing.
Okay, well, I just don't want you to move anything just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
When that 911 call was released to the public, it was heavily redacted. And we have learned two very important things from this call. The first being that he was not there at the kennels when the shooting happened. The second being that he had touched their bodies when he was checking for a pulse. And once the unredacted version came out, Alec also floated the idea that the attack was related to the boat crash. And he also stated that Paul had recently been receiving a lot of threats. And this was a really crucial piece of the story that he was telling. And when I say story, I mean that intentionally. Because, as you will learn, telling a story is exactly what
It's bad. Check the pulses.
Yes, sir.
But it's what he said immediately after this that really struck people as odd. Just like he mentioned on the 911 call, Alex starts offering up the boat crash immediately as an explanation for why this could have happened. And while, of course, there is no right or wrong
Now.
Sunday. That was fast. It's a live bed montage.